And Bonds hits one high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. 7:56. Bonds stands alone.
Now Booker with Tucker on him. Throws it up for 8. Shot blocked by Antetokounmpo. What a block from Giannis.
17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead.
Minute remaining. And they're putting Curry in the pick and roll, trying to get him on Irving. Irving and Curry, one-on-one. Irving puts it up. It's good! Kyrie Irving from downtown!
We're sending it in, Jerome. That's for damn sure.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Welcome to Taproom Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. Stacks on Stacks on Stacks Flats. Joined, as always, with my guy, Mr. Big Ballin' Ben Larson. Sorry, let me get my mic in there. What's up, Ben?
Doing well, man. Trying to get my dog to fucking stop barking, but
Goddamn fireworks, bro.
yeah, fireworks at the end of July. People are like, oh shit, I found these. I knew I had some more.
Yep.
But,
Goddamn kids,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck.
Hey, we were those goddamn kids, and that shit was damn fun.
Yep.
Watched a video of some fucking guy getting arrested today on, I think it was on Instagram, lighting a firework and trying to throw it out of his moonroof in his car, and it getting stuck in the car and exploding. The whole fucking car catches on fire. Fucking idiot.
Shit.
Yeah, dumbass teenager.
Never did that, but you know.
Yeah, I saved my car with our buddy Miles. I'm throwing a smoke bomb into out of the car and hitting the side window and popping back in. Although fucking turn the whole Durango purple, but thank God I got quick hands.
Oh my God. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
We are being brought to you by the Sharps app, SHARPZ. Make sure to download it. Use promo code JORD517. It's free to download, free to use. Track your bets. Become a better Sharps app. You can track your bets and know that you reverse swept like I did today.
Yeah, it's a little rough.
Was a tough day.
Yeah. I ended up being a half unit down, so I understand. No, I don't, but
Reverse sweeping is something special,
Yeah.
though.
yeah, we just call you fucking stacks on Trent over here.
Especially when you bet the Nats and they get no hit, and then you bet the Blue Jays and they just get fucking annihilated, and then you bet the fucking Braves and they just invent ways to lose a fucking baseball game, and then you bet the Angels and they score 5 runs in the second inning and then have 2 hits after that and lose 6-2.
Yeah.
Just it is what it is. We'll move on to tomorrow. And,
Oof.
we'll hope for
And
better
Mason
days.
Miller on the injured list with a fractured pinky today?
Oh, yeah, you haven't heard about it? You didn't read into that?
No.
Oh, my God. So, he fractured his pinky. It comes out that he fractures it because he hit something in the clubhouse on Monday night in frustration. And then another story comes out shortly after that he broke it because he was leaning against a table or something, whatever. And then Mark Kotze today, while the A's are having batting practice in Orange County at Angel Stadium, he was asked about it, and he said, we don't lie in this organization. And he broke his pinky because he was told that he had a post-game lifting session and he hit the table out of frustration, probably meaning because he didn't want to do it.
Yep.
And so now things are very interesting.
Christ.
Yep.
Luckily it's his glove hand and not his pitching hand.
Yeah, so he'll still be throwing and whatnot, but yeah, it's a bad look for him.
Mm-hmm.
Not wanting to put in work and stuff. That looks bad, dude.
Yeah.
And then, Mark Kotze, like, the trainer comes out and makes that statement, and Mark Kotze, he's got to respect his clubhouse and hold his players accountable. So, like, he has to go out and be like, no, that's not what happened.
Yeah.
Like, this is what happened. Because if he allows that to get out, then it's like, you can't let agents and players dictate your clubhouse. You just can't do that. So I totally understand what Mark Kotze was doing. As the manager of the clubhouse, he has a responsibility to do that. So it was pretty wild. But also some other news today. AJ Puck gets traded from the Marlins to the Diamondbacks for Diaz de los Santos, who is the 14th ranked prospect in the Diamondbacks organization, according to MLB.com. However, the kid has been raking this year, 28 home runs between AA and AAA. But, Diamondbacks get another arm in the pen. Diamondbacks do lead all of Major League Baseball in losses by the bullpen. So, but I mean, but I will say a big part of that is because Kevin Ginkel was hurt for a while. Sewald was hurt for a while. Like, they have had a lot of injuries. However, that's still there, and adding bullpen depth never hurt anybody.
Yeah, but you are leveraging your future a little bit. So luckily you do have young guys on your team. You've still got a couple players in the minor league systems that are of quality. But
I think the reason why he was traded, because your future in your infield is obviously you have Ketel Marte, who's 30 years old, so he still has like a few years left, right? 5, Then you have Geraldo Perdomo, who's very young, only in his second year, and then Jordan Lawler was supposed to be your starting shortstop this year, but he's been dealing with injuries. He hasn't played a single fucking game. So you get him back next year. He's one of the top prospects in all of baseball. So where was he gonna play? I guess you could say you could always find room for a bat, but trading for Puck is like kind of crazy. AJ Puck does have a 2 ERA as a reliever this year. The Miami Marlins did try to utilize him as a starter in the beginning of the year, and he's just not a starter.
Yeah.
So it is a good left-handed arm, and he's nasty against lefties, but I did think they overpaid a little bit.
Yeah. And
on top of that, now you got the rest of the trade market, Ben, and it's like, they gave up him for AJ Puck, so
we can get a lot for whoever we want. Yeah.
Yep.
Or whoever we have. Yeah.
Some other trade deadline news that came out today. Reportedly, Garrett Crochet's agent is telling teams interested in trading for him that he will not pitch in the postseason without a contract extension.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
If you want a contract extension, then you better fucking pitch in the postseason.
That was what my first thought. My first thought was like, all right, well, enjoy the South Side, buddy, because, you haven't really proven anything.
Yeah. You're coming off injury. You've had a great year, but you're now in uncharted territory.
Yep. You've never pitched this many innings.
Yep.
And I guess they also said that he will not pitch out of the bullpen, because there was a report earlier this week that the Dodgers were interested in trading for him, and that they were interested in him pitching out of the bullpen down the stretch to limit his innings. So, them coming out and saying that is probably in reference to that report coming out to the Dodgers, which I'm sure, the Dodgers and his agent have probably had a conversation or two. But I did find that pretty interesting that they said that he will not come out of the bullpen. Now, if he's not going to pitch in the postseason without a contract extension, I think you can take the Orioles out of the Crochet sweepstakes, and I think in the long term, I think that only hurts his value, because if the team that has the most to trade pulls themselves out, then now you're negotiating against teams with less, and you're going to get less, and so I think that was huge of his agent coming out and saying that, and I think that's only going to hurt the White Sox in any negotiations. But I do think that takes the Orioles out of the Crochet sweepstakes. I really do.
And it sounds like the big three were the Dodgers, the Orioles, and the Yankees, and now you're looking at two of them who are likely out of contention here. If you're, if you're the Dodgers and hoping that he's going to come into kind of a bullpen type role, and he's not willing to do that, or is going to be I don't want to say cancer, but a pill in the bullpen, then you don't want that for your psyche back there. If the Orioles are out, then that really just leaves the Yankees, and the Yankees dictate things, not players. So, I don't know if we'll see a new contract extension before the playoffs if he goes to the Yankees. So that leaves I don't want to say mid-level, but a lower level team
Yeah, but I don't
likely
think like
going after him.
I don't think a team like this is why I think the Orioles are out is because they're not going to give up top prospects and then give a guy in unproven territory a
big
contract extension
Yeah.
when they also have to think about their future. And like you
absolutely.
got Gunnar Henderson, Adley Rutschman, you got a lot of young guys that you're gonna have to give extensions to. Plus, on top of that, in the next 2 years, you're gonna get Kyle Bradish back. You're gonna get Felix Bautista back. So you're gonna get guys back. So having to force yourself to pay a contract extension now when you don't have to and the guy's under club control just makes no sense for a team like the Orioles. It honestly doesn't make sense for anybody that doesn't have money to just blow, which is like why I could still see the Dodgers doing it. Plus, the Dodgers love raping teams in trades. So, like, they know now, okay, well, the Orioles aren't going to trade for him because it just doesn't make sense for them to trade for him and give him a contract extension for everything I just laid out. So now we're going to give up less. We'll get him and we'll pay him. And, if he gets hurt, we're the fucking Dodgers, dude. We have fucking billions of dollars. It'll be
They're
whatever.
They're going to defer his contract anyway, so.
But them and the Yankees could like afford to pay a contract extension and him not to either live up to it or B he gets hurt, and they can absorb that money and still afford to pay other players. Whereas a team like the Orioles, let's say they give him a contract extension and they give him $17 to $20 million a year. Well, if he gets hurt, they can't go out and get another $17 to $20 million player. Like they can't afford to do that. So that's another reason why it doesn't make sense for a team like the Orioles.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think the Mets could probably be in there.
Mets could.
Yeah. Padres could possibly as well. Especially with their injuries to pitchers, and who knows how long Yu's gonna go.
Oh shit. Breaking news. Randy Arozarena traded to the Seattle Mariners.
Wow, that's a big pickup for the Mariners.
Hold on, is that... I'm trying to get verification on this.
That is a very big pickup for the Mariners if that's the case.
Let me see.
Randy.
Yep. MLB trade rumors. They just reported it. Mariners to acquire Randy Arozarena, Ben. The trade has the details on the trade have not been finalized, but Randy Arozarena to the Mariners.
Yeah.
Randy Arozarena to the Mariners. Interesting. Talk about a team that absolutely needs offensive help.
Yeah.
That gives them help there. And I'm just now watching the market, betting market, flip on Tampa and Cincinnati.
Yep.
It has actually come off the board at a few spots. Circuit has moved from -110 to -107. Very interesting. They had to have given up Harry Ford, dude.
How long of a contract does he have?
I think Rosarina is still in arbitration because he was a rookie in 2020, or technically 2021. Very interesting current events.
Yeah, wasn't he like a 3-year rookie? because of how many games played he had?
No, well, 2020 was like such a small year, so he only came up in like the end of the year for like the playoffs.
Mhm.
So 2021 was technically his rookie year. So he's still got like at least 2 years of club control of arbitration at least. But man,
That's crazy. That's a huge pickup, man. Talk about a team who needed a bat, and talk about a quality player going out to Seattle.
yep, he'll
And he's
probably
definitely not gonna be the. I mean, he's not a showstopper, but he is a clutch bat.
he'll probably go to Seattle and fucking be a shell of himself now.
Yeah.
I don't mean that, but I kind of do. Man, awesome, dude. We never get news on the show, but
Yeah.
I figured the trade deadline would start to heat up now as we're like, the trade deadline's obviously on Tuesday, so we only have like 5 more days. And I think a lot more teams have like announced themselves as sellers. So I do think that is I do think that's huge, dude.
Yeah,
Massive.
and Tampa Bay was one of those teams. I mean, they're 4 games out of the wild card race, but they were one of the teams we were talking about. It's just like it's with a tight wild card race with the injuries and off field issues that they have, that this wasn't likely going to be a team that would compete for anything other than a wild card spot. So
Yeah, and I mean they still have like, because now they can call up Junior Caminario, so it's like,
mhm.
they could still technically, push for a wild card, but I mean like, were they ever gonna win without McClanahan and fucking Jeffrey Springs and Drew Rasmussen? Probably not.
Yeah,
So it's
exactly.
like it makes sense kind of what they're doing.
Yep.
Um, wow,
But a Rosarina is also a big part of that. So
he is,
I'm
and he's been
you're
playing
right.
well
I'm guess
of late.
what's that?
He's been playing well of late.
Yeah. I'm guessing you're right. They did get a very good return.
What did they get?
No, I'm guessing you're right.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, if they got Harry Ford in return, then they got to do it.
Yeah, I don't know if Harry Ford is.
He's one of their top prospects.
Well, no, I know, but just I don't know if they get rid of Harry Ford
I mean, dude, Ben,
for Rosarina. Yeah.
they kind of have to at this point because that offense is so bad.
Yeah.
And like, they have the best starting pitching in all of baseball. So it's like you gotta give your team a chance, dude, with that pitching. Like you have
Yeah.
to. And you can't just sit there and be like, well, these prospects, blah blah blah. Bro, you don't know how much longer you're gonna have these guys.
Yeah.
And then be healthy. But they are right now, so go out and do what it takes.
And what was that, like, they're number one in the top pitching rankings and 29th and 30th in offense?
Yeah. They're like 28th in offense, and then they're like number 2, or they're top 3 in everything in pitching. And then they're like 28th or worse in everything in batting. I mean, they had to do this. They had to do it. All right, let's look at some of these games for tomorrow.
We'll circle back on this and at the end of the show and see if
Yeah, we'll see if the return has been announced.
yeah.
So the first game we're going to talk about is the Yankees and the Red Sox. The Yankees have Nestor Cortez on the mound against Boston, who's going to have Brian Bayo. Currently, this line is it's fluctuating like big time depending on what book you have. It's anywhere from, the Yankees are anywhere from -120 to -130, and the Red Sox are anywhere from plus $1.05 to, I've seen plus $1.16 out there.
Wow.
So it really depends on what book you shop around for the best price, obviously, on depending on what side you like. This game's going to be in Boston. Ben and I were talking about this a little bit before we came on the show. Boston's coming off a fucking beatdown where they lost
Shellacking.
Yeah, where they lost 20-7 to Colorado at Coors Field. They've had a day to sit on this. The Yankees played last night, so they had a day off as well, and they got beat down by the New York Mets. Both these teams kind of shuffling right now. The the Red Sox are 1-5 since the All-Star break, and the New York Yankees aren't doing much better. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They have the worst record in baseball since June 15th. So that's kind of where the Yankees are at right now. What's your thoughts on this game here, Ben?
I mean, I think Severino was right, was that there's only two batters on this team, and that's on the Yankees team, and that's something that we definitely have to take into play. Both teams are coming off of very big, depressing losses. I wonder which is more impactful, allowing 20 runs against you or losing 12-3 to your cross-town rival. Both of those are really big, like really painful losses.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if both teams come out to bat. So I definitely think that the 9.5 is in play, because you're going to get players swinging. And my initial lean is Boston coming off of that 20-7 loss. Brian Bello has pitched well, not really as of recently, but I look for this to kind of be a comeback spot. So the more I look at numbers and everything, I am kind of leaning more towards this over.
Yeah.
Nestor coming off 2 majorly bad losses.
And he's terrible. He's been terrible on the road.
Yeah.
I mean, throughout his career with the Yankees, he's been awful on the road. So, I mean, that's nothing new. 6 ERA compared to 2.48 at home. I mean, just getting shelled on the road. And I think he's pitched at Fenway once this year, if I'm not. Has he? No, he has not. But he gets shelled on the road.
Yeah.
With all that being said, I kind of like this spot for the Red Sox. Brian Bayo, he does have a 5.27 ERA, but he has a 3.61 xFIP, and I know he gave up 3 runs to the Dodgers, but it was on 1 hit, a home run, and he had 7 strikeouts in 6 innings. So I mean, like he had really good stuff. It's just he had like one AB that fucking really killed him, and it's part of baseball for sure. But I don't like this Yankees lineup right now, dude. Like I really don't. You got Judge and Soto, but nobody else in that lineup can hit.
Yeah.
Like they're really struggling, and aside from that 6-run output that they had against the Rays, I mean they have not hit the ball well in the last few weeks. So I really don't like the Yankees in this spot, man.
What pitches does Bello?
His best pitch is a sinker.
Ooh, and that's the Yankees' best pitch that they hit. Yankees sinker team run value is 27.5. Best team in baseball against the sinker. You've got Judge at a 4.4, Soto 1.8, Volpe 1.4, Wells 1.4.
Well, his best pitch is actually the changeup, and they're one of the worst teams at hitting the changeup. His most used pitch is a sinker. However, he basically throws his sinker, slider, changeup the same. He basically throws them all 30% of the time.
So I mean, sinker, you got to be careful of Judge and Soto. Changeup, you got to be careful of Judge, Soto, and Verdugo. And what was the third one? Changeup?
Changeup, slider, sinker.
Changeup, Soto, and Stanton. Stanton's not back yet, right?
See, but the problem with the Yankees, dude, is like their numbers. If you look at their team numbers, it's hella skewed by 2 guys.
Oh yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is like those two guys can hit, but it's like teams are starting like the Mets. They figured out, we're just gonna pitch around these guys and make everybody else beat us, and they couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think, but that's the problem. And we talked about Bello, his one at bat last game against, who was it against? The Dodgers. Like, you have one at bat against Judge or Soto, and there's your 3-run homer.
Sure, but people got to get on base for them to
Yeah.
hit, and that's the thing. And the Yankees haven't been able to do that, especially against good teams lately. Like they have really struggled to get on base for those guys. And the home run he gave up was to who was it to? Oh no, I'm sorry. He gave up no. He didn't give up he did give up a home run, but it was a solo home run. He gave up a 2-run double on Andy Pajes.
Okay.
That was the two.
Let's see. Nestor the Molester, his best pitch is the cutter, but he pitches the four-seam fastball the most, and Boston hits the four-seam fastball very well.
Boston smashes fastballs.
Yeah. The cutter, not so great. That's going to be his strikeout pitch. Let's see, what's his next? The sweeper and the changeup. Changeup, he only pitches 7.8% of the time. Boston, changeup. Ooh, they destroyed the changeup.
Yeah, like pretty much everybody on their team is like above average hitting changeups. They're pretty much all really good against hitting fastballs. Tyler O'Neill especially, and he crushes lefties. But Tyler O'Neill not good against changeups. Probably because he's sitting fastball all the fucking time.
Yeah. You've got Duran, you've got Devers, you've got Connor Wong,
Yeah,
Tyler
Wong
O'Neill,
too. Wong hits lefties really good too.
Yoshida.
The Red Sox do typically struggle against lefties, but they do knock around bad lefties, like they did Tyler Block.
Mm-hmm.
And Nestor isn't a good lefty, and especially on the road, he's not a good lefty.
Yeah,
So
they're still hitting 250 against lefties though, so
yeah, but I mean,
they
like,
don't hit the ball really hard, but
I was gonna say against righties, they have like, well, against lefties they have 100 WRC plus, which is league average. So not terrible, but it's league average. But
what's
against
their ISO?
Oh shoot, sorry, I went to right-handed now. But against right-handed pitching, they have a 109 WRC plus, 182 ISO. Against lefties, they have 100 WRC plus, 154 ISO. So
Okay, so
power
a
a lot
little
less.
bit less. The hard hit balls. So.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm gonna play Boston just because this is an absolute fade of Nestor Cortez, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Boston's lineup a lot better than the Yankees. I like Boston's bullpen better than the Yankees. So with all that being said, like and Boston being at home, and Boston's been good against the Yankees of late.
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Red Sox here, man. I really do.
I think I'm also gonna throw a half unit on the over, with both these teams coming off of big losses. And you're asking the Yankees to put up runs though, which is tough, but you could have Boston put up 6 and the Yankees put up 3, and you're there.
Yeah, I mean, usually their games are higher scoring.
Let's see. So far this year, you've got 8-1, 4-8, 9-3, 5-3, 14-4, and 3-0. There's a lot of unders for that 9.5 though. Maybe if it goes to 9, I'll hit that over. But I stay away if it's at the 9.5.
Oh, okay, we got the full trade. Mariners receive Randy Rosarina. Tampa Bay receives Aiden Smith, right-handed pitcher Brody Hopkins, and player to be named later.
That's not Harry Ford.
Not Harry Ford.
Yikes. How are, I mean, hold on, let me pull up Fangraphs
So they didn't give up
let's
any
see.
of their top 10 prospects.
Okay, so none of their top 10, huh?
Aiden Smith is an A-ball. He's their 12th ranked prospect. And Brody Hopkins, dude, I don't even fucking see this kid. He's not even on their top 30 list.
Wow. Wow.
I don't know, man. The Rays usually fleece trade, so maybe they got some inside intel on some of these guys, but or that player to be named later must be, I don't know, because that doesn't make sense, bro. We just saw AJ Puckett traded for fucking De Los Santos, and then we see Randy Rosarina get traded for fucking Aiden Smith and Brody Hopkins. Oh, Brody Hopkins is their 22nd ranked prospect. Sorry, man, 22nd. He's an A ball as well. He has a 2.9 ERA in A ball, 95 Ks in 83 innings.
Okay, so that's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
But that's no Rosarina.
Yeah,
I didn't even have to give up Class A either. Jonathan Class. I mean, I know he's dropped a little bit, but
and this Brody Hopkins kid actually got filthy stuff. His fastball sits 93, 96, but can top out at 98. And his slider and changeup are plus pitches.
let's see. Aiden Smith is 20, 6'3", 190. His hit power is 2040. His raw power 40 out of 50. Game power 2040. Run 60-60, so he's a fast motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, fielding 40 out of 50 and throw is 60.
I mean, so he's projected, as basically like a high contact, fast, uh, defensive, probably center fielder.
Yeah. It's crazy. Wow.
It's hard to say with the Rays, man, because they usually, like when they traded Chris Archer for Glasnow and Austin Meadows, and I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but interesting stuff. I'm curious as to who that player to be named later is. Sometimes those matter, man. Brandon Phillips was once a player to be named later in a trade. And he became Brandon Phillips. All right, let's move on to our next game. We got. That's a good trade for the Mariners. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a great trade for the Mariners. They at this point they won that trade.
Yeah, they need that bat right now too.
Mhm.
There's no waiting.
Birds Phillies. That's the earlier game tomorrow, 3:40.
Where is that at?
Guardians Phillies.
Yeah, I don't even see that on my thing right here. What the fuck? Am I on the
Phillies
right?
minus
Oh, there we go.
162.
There we go. Christopher
Ben Lively
Sanchez,
versus
Ben
Sanchez.
Lively.
Yep.
Yep. All right. I'm sorry. Guardians. Mariners are on my mind. Guardians at Philadelphia Phillies. Guardians played today. They're coming off a L to the Tigers. They've also only scored 3 runs in their past 2 games. This line is another one that fluctuates from basically everywhere. You can find Cleveland anywhere from plus $1.41 to plus $1.50, plus $1.53. And Philly, on the other hand, you could find them anywhere from minus $1.60 all the way up to minus $1.77. So this line fluctuates everywhere depending on where you shop at. The total is at 8 pretty much everywhere. 8.5, circa's at 8.5, juice to the under. Some other books as well. So shop around for both, depending on what you like. We got Christopher Sanchez against Ben Lively. Ben, what do you think about this game?
Yeah, this is tough because you got 2 teams who are slumping right now. Both teams are 4-6 in their last 10. Coming off of the All-Star break, they haven't caught in that groove yet. So it's going to be interesting to see where these teams go. I lean Philly here because they have the better offense, they have the better pitcher going. Ben Lively pitched out of his mind at the beginning of the year, but has definitely, come back down to earth. And, he's been playing some teams that really haven't been putting up good offensive numbers, as of recently. I think San Diego in his last start was probably the best team that he's faced in a month and a half. I mean, he really doesn't have, other than his April starts, he doesn't have any games where he's pitched against a really strong team.
Who?
So coming into Ben Lively.
Lively, yeah.
So coming into this game, I think this may be, uncharted territory for him. So I definitely want to look into the numbers here on, where the Phillies hit his pitching versus, where Christopher Sanchez is, because I mean he had a tough start versus Chicago a couple weeks back, but ever since then has been at least fairly solid. Oh, we got a sneeze coming.
I don't know how I didn't sneeze right there, but yeah, I mean, I've been looking to fade Ben Lively for quite some time, dude.
Yeah, he always pitches well when you fade him, though.
This is a guy 3.57 ERA, 4.28 xFIP. I actually faded him last time against the Padres, and the Padres won. But he did only give up 2 runs in that game. But he had a 6.03 xFIP. So, this is a guy that for some reason he wiggles out of trouble all the time. But like you said, he hasn't really faced any good teams lately. Christopher Sanchez, it's another guy that I usually look to fade when he's pitching. However, he's really fucking good at home. 1.5 ERA compared to 5.24 on the road. And the Phillies as a team are just really good at home. So, this is a spot where, I would look to either, play the Phillies. If you don't want to lay the price, though, at minus 160, you can look at playing this other ways, like maybe playing the Guardians team total under. But honestly, at minus 160, minus 165-ish, I don't necessarily think that's a bad price, dude. I actually think there's value in that. I think this should be more like minus 170, minus 175. I think this closes north of minus 180. The Guardians, I mean, they haven't been hitting the ball well at all. They have, in the last 2 weeks, in the last 14 games, 27th in WRC plus, been with a 70 WRC plus, only a .091 ISO. I mean, they have not been hitting the ball, dude, at all.
Yeah.
And we knew they were going to have some offensive regression. And I think we're kind of seeing that kind of come to fruition now. And their bullpen's also really taxed as well. And I think that's huge. And then the fact that
Is Cleveland's?
yeah, and the fact that the Phillies had the day off today, I think that also benefits them as well. And then like I said, playing the way they play at home, I I actually really I like the Phillies here. I actually might play it, dude.
Yeah, I'm looking at this too, and looking at the pitches for Sanchez and for Lively. Everything that Philly does well is kind of a midpoint for Lively. Um, the the four seam Philly hits incredibly well. The slider Philly hits incredibly well. The sinker Philly hits incredibly well. So those are three pitches there that they can utilize. And then you look at let's see, you look at Christopher Sanchez, and he pitches the slider, the sinker really well, and those are both negative 9.4, negative 9.2 in the run value. Again, I'm not looking into these. I'm looking into this as a full team, but Christopher Sanchez is he's got a top level changeup, top level slider, and
And
those are
sinker.
two pitches that Cleveland does not hit well.
They don't hit any of his. They don't hit a sinker well either.
Yeah.
Sinker,
So
change, slider, and they don't hit any of those, and they're slumping on top of all of that.
yeah, the changeup they hit as a team at 3.6. If we go into it and look a little bit deeper on that, the changeup, you have Andres Jimenez hits it at 1.8, Stephen Kwan at 2.3.
Yeah, but it's like you look at
Jose Ramirez is
he hits everything.
decent at everything, but
If you look at like who hits sinkers on their team, Steven Kwan, Bo Naylor, Jose Ramirez, Schneemann, Manzardo. Schneemann's a lefty, Bo Naylor's a lefty, Kwan's a lefty. Christopher Sanchez against lefties, 219 average against 250 OBP, 260 slugging, dude. 228 WOBA. He's nasty against lefties. So and he throws a sinker 48% of the time.
Yep.
So I think that I really like the Phillies, dude. This actually might be a 2-unit bet for me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm liking the run lines on these even.
I don't like to play run lines. I don't hate.
Yeah, I really like this first 5 minus a half. I don't know what value you're gonna get there, but I think it's at least gonna be good. Probably around, plus 105 is my guess. And if I'm getting plus value on that, I'm taking that and running.
Yeah. I'm trying to look at this shit. Trying to look at what the run line is.
Minus 1.5, plus 120.
Plus 120, yeah. I don't know. I hate playing around with run lines, dude. Like, imagine if you had the fucking Orioles run line today, dude.
Yeah. You can probably look at team total. Is you're likely, if it's sitting at 8.5 right now, juice to the under, you're probably going to be looking at 4.
I actually
3.5. 4.
I would actually rather play Guardians run line under.
Oh yeah, no. I'm saying Philly run line over. Guardians run line under.
Yeah, I wouldn't play Phillies run line over right now because they've been struggling to hit. But I would absolutely play Guardians run line under. But I honestly, I just think playing Philly -1. I think if you can get it -160, -165. Like I said, this should be like -180, dude. It should be north of that, and I think it's gonna close around there. So I'm gonna make the Phillies -1. I got it -162. I'm gonna make this a 1.5 unit bet.
Yeah.
I don't want to mess around with the run line. Although the run line, plus 120, I might sprinkle a little there, but I think this is good value, dude.
Yeah.
I do. So I'm gonna play that. I like that. would like that a lot. This is a good spot to fade Ben Lively, dude.
Yep. Definitely agree with you on that.
A very good spot. All right, let's move into our next game. We got the Houston Astros hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers. Dodgers coming off a 4-game series in which they won 3-1 against the Giants, which I do want to talk to you about the Giants after we do this game. Right now you can find Houston anywhere from like a minus $1.18 to minus $1.20, even minus $1.25 out there. And then the Dodgers on the other side, you can get them plus $1 to plus 116 out there is the best I see. So shop around, obviously, whichever side you like. Gavin Stone's going to be on the hill for the Dodgers. Framber on the hill for the Houston Astros. The total is at 8.5, juice to the under pretty much everywhere. Minus 120 or worse. Minus 125 some places on the under. And then the over, obviously, even money or plus $1.05, where it's minus $1.25. What's your thoughts on this one, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, again, you've got two teams that kind of the offense and defense kind of complement each other. You got an LA team. I'd still say, even though the top half of the lineup is much better than the bottom half, I think LA's offense is better than Houston's, but you've got a better pitcher on the hill in Framber going up against Gavin Stone.
You think the Dodgers lineup is better than the Astros?
I do think the Dodgers lineup is better than the Astros. And I know Gavin Stone has a better ERA against Framber Valdez, but I still think Valdez is a better pitcher.
Gavin Stone is in uncharted territory here.
Yeah.
With innings pitched.
Yeah. So Dodgers do hit lefties a little bit better than they hit righties. They're hitting lefties at 265 compared to 249. On-base percentage a little bit higher, slugging a little bit higher. And then OPS is 20 points higher. So let's see, does Framber give up the long ball?
No, what Framber does is he walks hella fucking guys, and then he gets in his own fucking head. And that's when he's bad.
I mean, going up against good teams, Gavin Stone has not been great.
That's what I'm saying. And, Framber, for as much as I criticize him usually, he is a pretty big game pitcher. He went out against the Mariners and absolutely shut them down when the Astros absolutely needed that win.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously that is the Mariners, though. But, when Framber does get in trouble, like I said, it's usually when calls don't go his way or a team gets like an infield single or an error and he like mentally just unravels. However, he has been a lot better this year than in years past with that. Like, I have noticed that he has gotten a lot better. He's also better at home. He's also gotten better as the year has gone on, Ben. Since he came back from the injured list in May, he's gotten better like every fucking start.
Yeah.
So I do think Houston at home, this is like a spot that I do want to play I do want to back the Astros coming off that road trip. Obviously they took over first place. They're in sole command of first place of the AL West now, and they kind of need to keep rolling. Dodgers played today, have to travel to Houston, so that doesn't help them either. Gavin Stone, like you said, he 3.19 ERA, 4.04 xFIP, so negative regression coming. Plus, he's in uncharted territory where he hasn't pitched this many innings. So now we don't know really what to expect from here on out. He has been better on the road, 2.83 ERA compared to 3.5. He's better against lefties too because of that changeup. But changeup isn't gonna work against fucking Jordan.
Yeah.
And the Astros actually have way more righties than they do lefties, especially without my guy in there. What's his name? Kyle Tucker.
How?
So I do like the Astros in this spot, Ben. I will be backing the Astros. I have bet the Astros at -120. I do think that they take care of business tomorrow at home at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah. And I like first 5 bets, and I wonder what this is going to be sitting at with a 9-3 with a 3.19 Gavin Stone versus a 8-5 3.63 ERA Framber Valdez. I'm wondering if we're going to get a little bit of change on the value there for the first 5.
Maybe.
'Cause I think something that you're getting too is relief pitching. Let's see, Dodgers pitched what's his fuck the last 2 nights.
Evan Phillips,
No, it was the douchebag
Joe Kelly.
Joe Kelly. Yeah, he's pitched the last 2 days in a row, so I don't think he's available tomorrow.
He sucks though.
Oh, he pitched pretty well.
They'll have everyone available because on Wednesday they had Yarbrough, Banda, Kelly pitch, and none of those guys pitched today.
Kelly pitched today.
Who?
Kelly?
Oh, I'm sorry. Kelly's the only guy that won't be available.
Okay.
Evan Phillips will
They
be.
do have Yarbrough.
What?
Okay. They do have Yarbrough.
Yeah,
Phillips.
yeah. Everyone else will be Hudson, Phillips, because like those dudes pitched today. Trinan, so all those guys will be available. But I mean, both these teams have solid bullpens. If I were gonna play, like, I would also lean the under, obviously, because both teams do have solid bullpens. So I mean, I just think like this is a pretty close game. I think -120 is more than fair value for the home team. Yeah, I think this is. I like the Astros here. I think this is a good game. I would rather back Framber than Gavin Stone.
Mm-hmm. Now, with both being at -120, do you like money line or under better?
I think I like the money line better. I don't hate the under though.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't, if I were gonna play the under, I would play it at 8.5. I wouldn't play it at 8. But I could also see this game like, I don't know, dude. I fucking hate 8.5 fucking totals. Yeah, I think I like the side better than I like the total. I like the Astros in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a solid play there. God, I have a feeling like if the Phillies weren't struggling the last week or so, they'd probably be like -$2 tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Because that line just seems short to me, dude. Just seems so short. Because, dude, I'm telling you, dude, Ben Lively's going to get fucking rocked tomorrow, bro.
Yep.
All right, let's get some best bets. What do you like tomorrow?
All right, so I'll go my 1, 2, 3. My 1-star bet, we're gonna do Boston money line at +116. I really like the value there at +116. I think Bello kind of comes in and gets a good spot after that 20-7 shellacking that they faced. Number 2, my second favorite bet, we're gonna do Houston first 5 money line. I think we'll get a little bit better value than the -120 because Gavin Stone's numbers are a little bit better than Valdez's. And that Houston -120 is definitely a close second for that game. But my number 1 bet of tomorrow, my 3-star play, is going to be going with Sanchez, and we're going to go Philly first 5 minus a half a run. I think we'll get plus value there, and be able to take home some schmeckles.
Yeah, I'm with you. I like Boston plus 116. I like Houston full game -120, and I love Philly tomorrow -162. I will absolutely be playing that.
Yep.
I think it closes. I would play it to -175.
Yeah.
I think it should be -180, but -180 is like, I might play it. I don't know, but I play it up to -175.
Yeah, this is a big change for Jordan. Usually, Jordan's rule is if it's over -155, you don't bet it. So,
if it has value, I'll bet it. It's rare. It's rare in MLB. I'll say this: it's very rare in Major League Baseball that any play over -$1.50 has any value, because usually you're paying tax on like the teams like right now,
like Philly, like New York, like Baltimore.
right? But Philly in this spot has a ton of value. Like,
yeah,
-160 is saying that it's a 59% win percentage, and
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's higher than that.
Yeah,
given the 2 pitchers and stuff. So, it's just like I said. Usually, when you have to back good pitchers and good teams, you're like paying an extra tax on it. So usually it's like it's more profitable in the long run to usually fade those. Like, for example, Garrett Crochet the other night against Texas, right? Texas was like -$1.20 or whatever, or no, they were like they opened like -$1.15 or something, like something hella small, because Garrett Crochet was on the mound. But it's like, dude, he still plays for the fucking White Sox, dude.
like, the White Sox don't score runs.
Yeah. So. Like, what are we doing, dude? All the Rangers have to do is get to the bullpen in a tie game or down 1, and they have a hell of a chance to win the game.
Yeah.
So, you kind of factor all of those things in, and like, yes, the Guardians are a good team, dude, but they are regressing to more of what we thought they were going to be at this point of the year, right? So.
Still a good team, but not the best team in baseball.
Right. And, they couldn't hit last year, and they basically had the same team. And, like, they were at some point in the season, I think it was like halfway through June, they were hitting like 325 with runners in scoring position. Like, it's unsustainable, dude. It's just not sustainable. And, like, now we've seen it regress. And at some point, obviously, it's going to go back to normal. Like, it's going to balance out between, what they were before and what they are now. But they're not swinging the bats well right now, dude. They got shut out by fucking Kodai. Not Kodai. They got shut out by what's his face, dude? Today. No, by on the Tigers, dude. Maeda.
Oh, Kenta. Huh?
Yeah, I mean the Tigers pitched basically a bullpen game. They had an opener in Holton, and Maeda didn't pitch today, but they had Holton. And they had a bullpen game, and the Guardians couldn't score, dude.
Yeah.
Guardians have 4 hits. Even yesterday, they won 2-1.
Yeah. So real quick, you wanted to talk about the Giants.
Yes.
I definitely am a little bit worried with this offense on this team, and the bullpen as well. But I'm really happy with the way that Robbie Ray came out yesterday. So, if we can add another bat, I think that's really the biggest thing. Is Giants desperately need another bat. They need bullpen help too, but they need to put some runs on the board, and that's the biggest thing I think that they need to focus on. So if they can get a bat, and they can squeak their way into a wild card position, man, if you go into a wild card game or series You know, and you're pitching out there. You've got Snell, you've got Webb, and you've got Robbie Ray. I mean, even if you move Webb down because he hasn't been pitching all that great, that is a killer 1, 2, 3 right there, whichever order that you put it in. And that could be one of the best 1, 2, 3s, in the NL as starting. Now, getting to that bullpen, getting to the closer, that's going to be a little bit more difficult, but they have some bright spots. But they need bats. Desperately need bats to actually get some run support for these pitchers.
Yeah.
I
I
would have
mean,
loved a 2-2 split this series, but
yeah. It's what was I gonna say? I don't know, man. The Giants are they just got guys that shouldn't be on a team, dude.
yeah,
Like Ramos, um, and what's his face? Estrada, dude. Like those dudes fucking suck.
Heliot Ramos is good.
I mean, not Heliot Ramos. What's his name? Wilmer Flores.
Yeah,
Wilmer Flores. And now there's rumors that Blake Snell, that there's teams that could be interested in trading for Blake Snell, and with him having a $35 million player option, like I could see the Giants moving him, dude. You know what I mean? Like I very well could see it, but I don't know. Giants obviously they were hurt by the injury bug, Ben. Like they definitely had to battle that shit, and this team is underperformed like crazy. Their bullpen fucking sucks now. Like outside of Ryan Walker, there's like not a single guy in that bullpen that I would fucking trust to go out there in a big situation. It's I don't know, just things just haven't gone their way, dude. And I don't know. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they sold at the deadline at all.
Yeah.
How many games are they back now? 5.5.
Ooh,
Yeah, they're 5.5 back.
5.5. Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's going to be tough to catch up on.
yeah. They just have too many teams ahead of them.
Yeah, they do have. I mean, I've said it again. They have a more beneficial schedule in the second half than the first, but they do have 5.5 games to catch up on.
Losing that first series was huge, though. Like you come out of the All-Star break and you get Colorado and you drop 2 out of 3. Like that hurt. That hurts.
Well, they're going right back to Colorado. So if you can come in and I mean, if you can sweep that series,
But they're in San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
Yeah.
But still, if you can sweep that series, that is definitely a morale booster.
Yeah, but then you also have to hope that the fucking Reds, the Pirates, the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals. You gotta hope that the
Pirates
Braves
and
keep
Diamondbacks
losing.
are hot right now too.
Yeah. So are the Padres. So are the Mets. Like these teams are winning while the Giants are losing. Like, you gotta flip that around.
It's crazy to see Atlanta just free falling, only a game up on that last wild card spot.
Oh, I would not be shocked if the Braves fall out of the playoffs, dude.
Yep.
Absolutely would not be shocked. I mean, talk about a team that can't really hit. They can't really hit, and then they lost Ozzy Albies, obviously. That really hurts, and they've been pitching really well, and their bullpen's really good. But I mean, dude, they can't run. They can't manufacture runs. They can't run. They can't score runs. So I think ultimately that's gonna hurt them, Ben. Like
and this is the quintessential like player injury team.
Yeah.
Pitching and offense.
And like they don't have
defenses.
And they don't have enough in their farm system like go out and make trades to kind of fix the issues that they have. Like they have to go out and sign guys that get cut like Whit Merrifield and Ramon Laureano and stuff. So I don't think that they're going to be able to make a big enough move. And I think teams like the Padres are going to make a move. I think the Cardinals can make moves. The Diamondbacks, obviously, they got pucked today. I don't think they're done. Although I don't think the Diamondbacks, their biggest issue was they need to get healthy, and they're starting to get healthy now. So that helps them. The Pirates, they can easily go out and make a move. And, The Reds, they're very Jekyll and Hyde, but when that team's healthy, that's a really good ball club, and they're like they're like the Diamondbacks in my opinion, in the sense that like their biggest acquisitions are going to be getting their guys healthy, which is starting to happen. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, but I could definitely
looking better. I'm sorry.
I could definitely see the Braves falling out of the playoffs, dude.
Yeah. You know what's looking even better?
What?
Philadelphia Phillies plus 300 to win the division.
Oh yeah, that's looking really good. Hopefully they take care of business tomorrow, since I'm laying.
Yeah, I'm wondering,
$1.60.
do we have any updated odds for? No, we don't have any updated odds for division yet.
Yeah,
because they're probably like minus 200 now.
The Orioles are interested in Jameson Taillon and also have interest in Cubs relief pitchers Hector Neris, Tyson Ross, and Mark Leiter Jr. Telling you, dude, I think the Orioles are out on Garrett Crochet, dude. I think they are absolutely pivoting.
DraftKings Phillies to win the division minus 750. FanDuel minus 1200. BetMGM minus 1100.
For who?
Phillies to win the division
Minus 1100.
Yeah. Bet Rivers minus 1667. In the bag right there. All right, good shit.
It's crazy.
Glad we got some breaking news there in the middle of the show.
Yeah, I thought someone sent me a message, and I thought it was more breaking news, but it was just the Orioles are interested. I thought it was another trade. I was gonna be like, oh shit, we got blessed tonight. All right, thank you everybody for hanging out with us and joining us. We'll be back. We'll be back on Sunday night. My days are all mixed up. We'll be back Sunday night. We'll be talking some more Major League Baseball. We'll probably have some more trades go down by Sunday night, honestly, to keep it a buck. So tap in. We'll be talking more Major League Baseball. Looking forward to the rest of the season. We have football on the horizon, so as training camps are underway and stuff, we'll be talking more NFL football, college football as well. Irv and I are going to start doing some college football shows soon. I'll have some announcements out on that. But thank you everybody for hanging out with us. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Taproom Sports Podcast. Follow us on Twitter at Taproom_sports. Follow myself at Jordan Rules TSP. Catch y'all later. Have a blessed weekend. Peace.
Later.